A sleek interface does not equal legal authorization. GammaXT presents itself as an online broker offering access to forex, cryptocurrencies, indices, and CFD trading. The website uses modern design elements, bold financial claims, and the familiar language of professional trading conditions and advanced tools. At first glance, it resembles dozens of established brokerage platforms. But once you move past the surface, serious structural concerns emerge. The platform promises market access, leveraged trading, and profit opportunities across multiple asset classes. However, in financial services, promises are secondary. Regulation is primary. And in the case of GammaXT.com, regulatory verification raises immediate red flags. The core conclusion, based strictly on verifiable data, is clear. Verification through official supervisory registers does not confirm the presence of a valid financial services license connected to GammaXT.com. That single fact significantly increases the risk profile of this broker. General information about the project. Project name, GammaXT. Website, https, in GammaXT.com. Project type, online broker, CFD, and multi-asset trading platform. Regulation, not confirmed. License, not verified in official regulatory databases. Minimum deposit, promoted through account tiers, not transparently standardized. Leverage, advertised, but not clearly regulated under any supervisory authority. Domain registration date, relatively recent, according to public domain records. Registrar and DNS, international registrar with privacy protection enabled. Now to the most important question, regulation. Any legitimate broker operating internationally must be able to demonstrate authorization from a recognized financial regulator. Public searches were conducted in the official registers of the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom at https://register.fca.org.uk, the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission at https://www.cisec.gov.ce, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission at https://connectinline.asic.gov.au, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission database at https://www.desc.gov, Edgar, Search Edgar, Company Search, and FINRA Broker Check at https://brokercheck.finra.org. The result is consistent. Verification through official registers does not confirm the existence of a licensed broker entity connected to GammaXT.com. This is not speculation. It is a matter of record. If a broker is properly authorized, its legal entity, registration number, and approved domain are visible in the regulator's database. When that confirmation is absent, the platform operates without verifiable supervisory oversight. Why does this matter? Because regulation activates enforceable standards. It requires segregation of client funds from company funds. It establishes capital adequacy requirements. It creates complaint escalation channels. It enables investor compensation mechanisms in certain jurisdictions. An unlicensed broker is not bound by those frameworks. GammaXT promotes CFD trading and leveraged positions. CFDs are already complex, high-risk instruments. They allow traders to speculate on price movements without owning the underlying asset. When offered by a properly regulated broker, there are at least structural protections and disclosure standards. When offered by an unlicensed broker, the client faces amplified exposure. The platform may act as counterparty to trades, creating a direct conflict of interest. Pricing transparency cannot be independently verified. Execution quality cannot be externally audited. Another concern is the lack of detailed legal clarity. A legitimate brokerage typically provides a clearly identifiable legal entity, company registration number, registered address, and governing jurisdiction. It also specifies which regulatory authority supervises its activities. On GammaXT.com, corporate transparency appears limited. Without a clearly verifiable legal entity tied to an official license, users cannot easily determine which court or regulator has authority in case of dispute. WAS and technical analysis add context. Public domain records indicate that GammaXT.com was registered relatively recently and uses privacy shielding to hide the registrant's identity. Privacy protection alone is not illegal. Many businesses use it. However, in combination with absent regulatory verification and limited corporate transparency, it reduces accountability. Established financial institutions usually maintain a long operational history, consistent domain ownership, and publicly traceable management structures. A short digital footprint is not proof of fraud, but it is a structural risk factor. Let us summarize the warning indicators based strictly on observable facts. No confirmed license in the FCA, SISEC, ASIC, SEC, or FINRA databases. No clearly verified regulatory authority. Limited transparency regarding the legal entity. High-risk leveraged CFD offerings. Recent domain registration with masked ownership. Potential exposure to withdrawal issues in the absence of regulatory enforcement. These elements do not allow us to make legal accusations. However, they define a risk profile consistent with what is commonly described as an unlicensed broker model. In such environments, investor protection is minimal or non-existent. How can users protect themselves from similar investment scams? First, always verify licenses directly in official regulator databases. Never rely on screenshots, certificates, or links provided by the broker itself. Use only the official domains of regulators such as the FCA, SISEC, ASIC, the SEC, or FINRA. Second, understand the mechanics of CFD trading and leverage. High leverage magnifies losses as quickly as it magnifies gains. Third, examine the broker's corporate identity. A real broker clearly discloses its legal name, registration number, and supervisory authority. Fourth, review domain history. A broker claiming years of experience should have a consistent digital footprint. Finally, be cautious of aggressive sales tactics, guaranteed returns, or pressure to deposit additional funds. These are classic red flags in many fraud and investment scam cases. The final assessment is firm but measured. Based on publicly verifiable information, GammaXT cannot be considered a confirmed, fully regulated financial intermediary. The absence of verified supervision significantly elevates the risk level. Investor protection mechanisms are not clearly demonstrated. Withdrawal issues cannot be ruled out in an unregulated environment. Our experts recommend refraining from any financial interaction with this project until clear and independently verifiable regulatory authorization is provided. In financial markets, regulation is not a formality. It is the difference between structured risk and uncontrolled exposure.